Good morning, everyone. Kelly Akers here, the founder of the nonprofit organization Narcissism Awareness and Support. Every morning I wake up and it's a difficult morning for me. It's a difficult morning for me, and I have figured out throughout the last couple of years why mornings are difficult for me. When you're with a narcissist, or this happens, I think, behind pretty much every closed door. When a man wakes up in the morning, they don't wake up happy. And when they don't wake up happy and they're stomping around, a woman's natural instinct is to try to compensate for whatever's making that person angry. And in all of my failed relationships, I did this. So every morning when my significant other would wake up and he would be so angry and so mad just at waking up in the morning, I would try to make sure that that person had everything that they had so that I didn't have to feel afraid when they woke up in the morning. So if it was that they couldn't find their shoes and that was what was pissing them off, I would go and I would put their shoes where they could actually find them. If it was that they couldn't get their clothes together, I would get their clothes together. If it was that they couldn't get their lunch together, I'd get their lunch together. This ended up in my last relationship where I had noticed that for years I had been trying to perfect just the mornings, just that I would wake up in peace and safety in the morning. And it never happened, no matter what I tried. No matter how much I gave, no matter how much I did, there was always a new need of that person after the need was met. I think that this happens to a lot of people out into the world, not just people that are in full-blown narcissistic abuse situations, but in everyday occurrences in living. And this is why I say that narcissism is truly delved into our communities and into our society. Most people wake up every single day and they rush themselves to work. They rush their kids off to school. They rush. We don't usually get, maybe, if you get a Saturday or a Sunday off, we normally don't get the ability to just wake up and to have a cup of coffee or a hot glass of water and start your day slowly. You have to get up and you have to rush. Especially when you're a kid, it does not matter how much time you've spent in school, you don't get used to it. You just don't get used to the wake up before the sun rises and rush out the door. So this kind of makes everybody irritated. It's not normal. It's not a part of what we're supposed to be doing. And so this anger, this fear, especially in people that have been through it for so long, ends up making mornings just miserable. So on top of waking up in the morning and having to go out into a whole entire society that is narcissist too, and who are also going to treat you poorly and are also going to be unkind, and if you actually have a talent or you're going to do something, then the jealousy train rolls around and then everybody's out there trying just to drag you down, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because you're doing everything right. And every single day, everybody is faced with this. Everybody is dealing with this. So one of the things in starting this nonprofit organization that I clearly want to make very well known is that narcissism is not just in abusive relationships. Narcissism is so delved into our communities, into our societies, that we don't recognize that is happening. We're playing the card every single day, thinking that this is normal. This is supposed to be. Most of us go to churches on Wednesdays and Sundays and believe in God and believe in the name of Jesus Christ. Yet we don't do anything that Jesus Christ actually said. And what I mean by this is Jesus was very adamant about equality. He literally washed his disciples' feet so that he could show that in the new kingdom of God, that people were not going to be above another person. This right here, this societal way, is a great reasoning why. In the societal way, what we're seeing is a constant abuse. It's not just in the relationships at home, and this is what makes it so hard. Why narcissism is becoming such a closed door, silent issue is because you have to survive. And to be able to survive, you have to pick up these narcissistic personality traits. You have to be able to do everything, basically, that your natural body tells you not to do. Not to rush when you wake up in the morning. My children have a very hard time waking up and going to school. They always have. I was told when it was happening to me that I was lazy. Was never told that it was not a part of the natural system. Was never told in church that, hey, we're doing everything against what the Bible actually says, what Jesus' teachings actually say. Nobody ever said that to me. What they told me was early bird gets the worm. Early bird gets the worm, and if you're not up and you're not rushing and you're not making your whole entire body into a nervous wreck, then you're lazy and you have to work really hard to gain anything in life. Jesus teaches you that God owns everything. The Lord owns everything. Who dubbed these other people, especially through Jesus' teachings of equality, that they were in a hierarchical position, especially being taught by Jesus himself that was not. Back to the mornings. In the mornings, when I wake up with such fear, with such anxiety, right off the rip, because first of all, I know that my significant other is not going to wake up in a good mood. He's either going to be screaming, he's going to be stomping around. I tried at one point in time to make sure that everything was perfect, so that didn't happen. It didn't end up working. When it did not end up working, I stopped it. And I started saying, the list just kept getting longer and longer and longer, and I don't have any more to give. I can't, after having the girls, especially, I have 5 children, don't have any more to give. I can't regulate your emotion in the morning. And you not regulating your own emotion in the morning causes me to have bad emotions in the morning. On top, and I think that more people than one are dealing with this too, on top of having to deal with that, you also have to deal with the kids getting up and not wanting to regulate and go to school. They're not wanting to wake up out of bed. They're not wanting to get in the bath. They're not wanting to get dressed and run out the door at 7:30 in the morning. None of them are, not even the high school kids. So we go back to the entire system itself being wrong. So as a person is going through narcissistic abuse at home, the narcissist itself is also going through abuse. The reason why they are so upset, the reasoning why they're getting up so angry is because their entire body is telling them that this is wrong too. On a man's side, especially why we're pushing narcissism with men more than we are women out in society right now, and it goes on both, the man doesn't want to get up and do any of that either. But what happens to a man that doesn't get up and doesn't go to work? Well, he's not a man. And then he's got a whole entire community out there that is going to beat him down every single time he goes out into the world and doesn't do whatever it is that people think that people should be doing. And I don't think that anybody even knows anymore. Where's America headed to? Where are we supposed to be going here? I don't think anybody knows anymore. The confusion from the home life to the community life is the same exact confusion. So you have the narcissism at home and you have the narcissism out in the community. So then when a person wakes up and they had such a hellish of a morning, as most people do, they then rush off to work to their communities in a hierarchical system. In a hierarchical system, there's one person above another. There's also the fear that this person could take my position. And nobody wants anymore to join forces and to listen to another person. They want to be the top narcissist. They want to be the person that is worshipped, the person that is looked up to, the person that, the movie star, basically. Everybody's working towards movie star statues. What we don't see is that these movie stars aren't happy either. They're all on drugs, they're committing suicide, so on and so forth. But we're chasing after that material stardom success. So then, if a person that is being abused at home with narcissism then goes out into their community, they're also abused by their community with that same narcissism, with that same issue. They have a question. Let's say that Sally owns a business and this person has a question that aligns with their business. They want to join forces. They want to go out and make an extra step into what they're doing in their own lives. That person looks at the other person as competition. They don't look at them as friendship. They don't look at them as two heads are better than one, because we live in a society that tells you only one can be the best. Only one can be the top. This is one of the biggest reasons why I'm starting this nonprofit organization. It's because I've been through narcissism so much in my life that I truly understand it at so many different levels. It's unreal, and you cannot escape it anymore. You cannot escape narcissistic abuse. It is in our communities. It is in our society. It is in our level up of hierarchical systems. It is everywhere. It is in the school systems that are promoting pride as a means to success for their students. When you're pushing the pride, well, then you're telling that one school system that they're better than another school system. That's not what Jesus taught. It's not even close to what Jesus taught. Jesus taught equality. Jesus taught that nobody should be above another. So my question with a lot of this is why did that man come on the scene and everybody claims to believe in him, but we're not actually listening to his teachings? Why is it that the hierarchical system is even in place when Jesus came to eradicate that hierarchical system? He came and he taught very well that the hierarchical system itself was the issue, and it is. That making the one person above another is what is affecting so many people down at the bottom. And unfortunately, the best-hearted people are the ones that are being crushed. They're the ones that can't take it anymore. When an entire army of people, when a person is trying to be kind and trying to be nice and trying to be loving, it confuses them. They're getting beat up so bad at home, then out in their communities. They just crumble. And it's breaking people. It's breaking people to the point where the only people that are out in the world are people wearing very, 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 very good masks. They're not happy inside either. But the mask that they wear on the outside is, I've got it figured out, and follow me because I have it figured out. Look how happy I am. They know this. They know this. But it's not helping them either, because in the end, that mask is going to end up falling off for them. And that's narcissism too. There's so many ways to understand narcissism, and that's where the confusion lies in it. But understanding that this seed of narcissism is in every inch of everywhere you turn and look will help us as a society to understand what is happening and what is going on, especially within the hierarchical system that believes that one is above another. That hierarchical system not doing us well. I want to say something that I have been thinking about for a very, very long time, because a lot of things that we talk about and we say in our communities, like the Pledge of Allegiance, is a great example. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Every single day we say this, but we truly don't mean it. We mean justice for me. We mean justice for my family. We don't mean justice for all, because if we actually meant what we were saying in our Pledge of Allegiances, if we actually meant what we were saying in our school systems, we wouldn't have a hierarchical system. And this is very much brainwashed into us through our political and government systems. The mere fact that democracy and republic are separate branches inside of our world, inside of our United States. Democracy is all over the world, but the divide between it, and the mere fact that the Republican president and the Democratic president haven't come up on stage and looked at one another and basically shook hands and said, "Do you want to know what our Bible tells us about equality?" And we claim that a divide within our nation will make us fall. So right now, in front of everybody in the whole entire public, we're going to do what Jesus actually said, and we're going to do what we actually say, and we're going to become united. And the Republican and the Democrat, they shake hands. They shake hands and they look out and they say, two heads are better than one. We are going to take these two branches and we are going to mix them together, because there is good in both of them and there's bad in both of them. And we're going to put our two heads together because we want everybody to be equal. We want everybody to understand equality. We don't want anybody left behind. The reason why narcissism is being embedded so heavily and it is turning hearts so coldly is because the system rewards the narcissist with a comfortable living. This has become such an issue that people are no longer authentically being themselves because they cannot be. To authentically be yourself, you're not going to make it very far. You're just not going to make it very far, period, dot blank. You have to be a very strong person. When you go out into the world, if you speak your truths or you speak your beliefs or what I'm saying right now, it's going to piss off a bunch of people. But why? I'm not saying anything bad. I'm actually saying what Jesus Christ himself taught so very, very long ago. So what is the issue that's happening here? Every single time that a person goes out into this community and they tries to rise to a comfortable level of living, they have to do things that are very not good. And they're not going to admit that, especially if they go to church on Wednesday and Sunday, so on and so forth. They're not going to admit it because we put our prides and egos up so high to try to climb that success ladder of America that says that if I get to the top, I get a pool, a piece of land, and a nice house. So as they're gaining those comforts and they're afraid to lose them. Their prides and egos scream at them that if they lose, what is everybody going to think? If I come out and I say, I didn't understand this, what are people going to think? We've gotten to the point where our hearts have not turned cold so much for any other reason than that pride or ego of being wrong. And not just that pride of ego of being wrong, but afraid to lose the comforts in which we've gained. Never understanding that those comforts themselves are the chains that wrap us and make us treat another person exactly like Jesus told us not to. And I don't know everything, and I'm not all the way healed, and I haven't figured everything out yet, but I do know this much. God is real. God is within you. There is a light inside of your mind that if you take time and stillness and try to look for God, you're going to find God. If you pick up the Bible and you actually start listening to Jesus's teachings and adhering them teachings to your life, like non-judgment. Jesus was very adamant about non-judgment. He told you that if you judge somebody, that you were going to be judged yourself. But yet we are out in a world that literally I can't watch one person walk out of a room without all the rest of those people talking crap about that person as they've walked out of the room. I have physically witnessed within the last year people dog other people out, like literally tell you that they cannot stand this person and then sit with that person at the same table with a smile on their face. It doesn't make any sense, guys. So a person, an empath, a person like me, who goes out into the world and starts seeing all of this all the time, and then is dealing with this at home too, and trying to fix this at home too, and realizing that I really don't have a chance in the world to really fix it at home because the outside world is operating at a narcissistic level. The only hope we have after that is trying to show everybody else that this is happening. And so that is my hopes with this nonprofit organization. I have not started anything legal up yet. I have not started anything. Everything will come out of my own pocket. But my name is Kelly Akers, and I have learned a lot of things going through God, a soul journey. I have 3 years in Ayurvedic sciences. In college, I am training to become a holistic doctor so that I can present this information and heal my own self to be able to stand for what is happening out in this world that I see, in hopes that I can change it for my children and your children too. If you would like to stand united against narcissism being delved into every inch of our society and give education and give support and give love and light on this subject, please like, share, comment. If you need to tell your experience, tell it. I'm here. I'm here supporting. I'm here standing. I'm here. Have a blessed day.